To ensure consistent counter receptacle height during a kitchen rough-in, consider several techniques. Firstly, a laser level can be employed. Project a horizontal line around the room at the intended countertop height. Then, mark the receptacle locations on the wall where they intersect with the laser line. Secondly, a string line can be used. Stretch a string line around the room at the desired countertop height. Suspend a small weight from the line directly above each receptacle box. Adjust the string line's height until the weights are aligned with the target distance above the future counter surface. Thirdly, utilize a chalk line. Snap a chalk line around the room, keeping it at the desired countertop height. Mark the receptacle boxes on the wall along this chalk line. Fourthly, a level and ruler provide another option. Place a level on top of each receptacle box. Measure the distance from the countertop surface to the bottom edge of the level. Use a ruler to transfer this measurement to the wall, marking the desired receptacle height. Fifthly, employ a template. Create a template with the precise receptacle height clearly marked. Position the template over each receptacle box and trace its outline onto the wall. Communication with the cabinet installer is crucial. Leave a note explaining the leveling method you've used and providing any specific instructions. If feasible, provide a copy of the leveling measurements or the template itself. Request that the cabinet installer adheres to these instructions to guarantee consistent receptacle heights. Let's delve deeper into each of these methods. With the laser level, accuracy is paramount. Ensure the laser level is properly calibrated before starting. Position the laser level in a location that allows it to project a clear, unbroken line around the entire room. Consider potential obstructions like cabinets or appliances that may block the laser beam. When marking the receptacle locations, use a fine-tipped marker or pencil for precision. Double-check your measurements to minimize errors. The string line method offers a low-tech but effective solution. Choose a strong, non-stretchable string to prevent sagging. Use a small, lightweight weight for accurate alignment. Ensure the string line is taut and leveled before making any measurements. The chalk line provides a quick and visible reference line. Use a chalk color that is easily visible on the wall surface. Apply consistent pressure when snapping the chalk line for a clean, even mark. Be mindful of dust created by the chalk line. Wear a mask if necessary. The level and ruler method requires careful attention to detail. Ensure the level is accurately calibrated. Take multiple measurements to verify consistency. Use a ruler with clear, easy-to-read markings. The template method offers a high degree of precision and repeatability. Create the template from a rigid material such as plywood or acrylic. Ensure the template is accurately cut to the desired dimensions. Consider adding registration marks to the template to ensure consistent placement. When communicating with the cabinet installer, clarity is key. Provide clear, concise instructions that are easy to understand. Include diagrams or sketches if necessary. Be available to answer any questions the cabinet installer may have. Explain the importance of maintaining consistent receptacle heights for both functionality and aesthetics. Discuss any potential challenges or concerns that may arise during the cabinet installation process. Consider providing a sample receptacle box for the cabinet installer to use as a reference. Request that the cabinet installer notify you of any deviations from the specified measurements. In addition to these methods, consider the following best practices for kitchen rough-in. Firstly, consult the local electrical codes for specific requirements regarding receptacle placement. Typically, codes specify the minimum number of receptacles required per linear foot of countertop. Secondly, ensure that all wiring is properly installed and grounded. Use appropriately sized conductors and connectors. Thirdly, label all circuits clearly and accurately. Fourthly, conduct a thorough inspection of all wiring and connections before closing up the walls. Fifthly, use tamper-resistant receptacles in kitchens to prevent accidents. Sixthly, consider the placement of appliances when determining receptacle locations. Seventhly, avoid placing receptacles behind appliances where they may be inaccessible. Eighthly, use GFCI-protected receptacles for all countertop locations. Ninthly, provide adequate lighting in the kitchen area. Tenthly, consider the use of under-cabinet lighting for improved visibility. Remember that proper planning and execution are essential for a successful kitchen rough-in. By following these methods and best practices, you can ensure that the counter receptacles are installed at a uniform distance above the counter, providing a safe and functional electrical system. Electrical codes require specific spacing for receptacles along countertops. Refer to the National Electrical Code, specifically Article 210.52c, for detailed requirements. Generally, receptacles should be installed so that no point along the countertop is more than 24 inches, or 600 mm from a receptacle. This typically translates to receptacles being spaced no more than 48 inches, or 1200 mm apart. Also, any countertop space that is 12 inches, or 300 mm, or wider requires a receptacle. This ensures that appliances can be easily plugged in without the use of extension cords. In island and peninsular countertops, at least one receptacle is generally required. Peninsular countertop spaces separated by a range, refrigerator, or sink are considered separate to countertop surfaces. The NEC also addresses receptacle placement with respect to sinks and cooking appliances. Receptacles should not be installed directly above a sink. They also should not be installed within certain distances of cooking appliances, as specified by the NEC. Always consult the latest edition of the NEC and local amendments for the most up-to-date requirements. When installing receptacles, ensure they are securely mounted to the wall or cabinet structure. Use appropriate mounting hardware and techniques to prevent them from becoming loose or damaged. The height of the receptacle above the countertop is also important. The typical height is around 4 inches, or 100 mm, above the countertop surface. However, this can vary depending on the specific design of the kitchen and the preferences of the homeowner. It's crucial to maintain a consistent height for all receptacles along the countertop for a clean and professional look. When using a laser level, take precautions to protect your eyes. Avoid looking directly into the laser beam. Use laser safety glasses if necessary. When working with electrical wiring, always disconnect the power supply before starting any work. Use appropriate safety equipment such as insulated gloves and tools. If you are not comfortable working with electrical wiring, hire a qualified electrician to perform the work. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous if not performed properly. Always follow safety precautions and consult with a professional if you have any questions or concerns. Consider the type of countertop material when determining the best method for ensuring uniform receptacle height. For example, if the countertop is made of granite or quartz, it may be more difficult to drill holes for receptacle boxes. In this case, you may need to use a different mounting method or consult with a countertop installer. If the countertop is made of wood, it may be easier to drill holes and mount the receptacle boxes directly to the countertop. However, you will need to ensure that the wood is properly sealed to prevent moisture damage. Also consider the style of the kitchen when determining the best method for ensuring uniform receptacle height. In a modern kitchen, you may want to use a more minimalist approach, such as using a laser level to project a line around the room. In a traditional kitchen, you may want to use a more traditional approach, such as using a level and ruler. The overall goal is to create a functional and aesthetically pleasing kitchen that meets the needs of the homeowner. Ultimately, the best approach is to combine several methods and best practices to ensure the highest level of accuracy and consistency. By paying close attention to detail and communicating effectively with the cabinet installer, you can achieve a professional and safe electrical installation in any kitchen.